very good morning in there, folks. Captain well in a descent now for Queenstown. Looking like just a little bit of scattered cloud remaining in the valley, but that is clearing as the day goes on. Some showers just have been through. Temperature of 6 degrees. At the moment the wind's just holding out in a very light easterly, so we're just going to track out to the western side of Queenstown and Lake Wakatipu. We'll turn left and fly back up the lake for a landing towards the east. There is a small possibility that the wind may move around a little bit mid-morning as it does. If that does occur, may have to just recircuit through the runway, but I'll look to keep you updated if that occurs. At the moment on this approach, touching down at 8:40 this morning. Thanks again for joining us. Enjoy your time in Otago. We'll see you all again in the future. Thanks.
Good morning everyone from a beautiful view out of our airplane window, the peaks as we come into Queenstown Airport. It's probably been about 18 months since both of us have flown together, although I did a quick trip down to Napier a couple of weeks ago, so it's very exciting to be up in the air again. We've got a great few days planned. We're going to have a look around Te Anau, Milford Sound, Arrowtown, and get out to Cromwell for a quick look. Well, we're about to land, so we'll see you shortly on the road. And just like that, we've picked up our rental car and we're on our way. Leaving Frankton Airport now and heading over the Frankton arm of Lake Wakatipu. On our left is the Remarkables mountain range. Just a dusting of snow up the top, but they'll look spectacular in a couple of months' time when everyone will flock to the Remarkables ski field. The views from the road up to the ski field are magnificent, and if you don't ski they offer a sightseeing pass to ride the chairlifts. 2,319 metres at the highest peak, or 7,608 feet. Winding further down the side of the lake now, passing Drift Bay, Wye Creek, and then winding through the Devil's Staircase. We're looking for a nice place to stop for morning tea because we visited an awesome bakery in the Remarkables shopping centre when we left the airport, so we have some coffee and some treats. So these are our little chocolate danishes we got from Ma Boulangerie. I've probably completely butchered the name of the pastry shop, but it looked amazing. So we're going to give these a try.
So if you're in Frankton, definitely worth a try. Frankton's next to Queenstown. It's where you fly in to Queenstown Airport. Visit Frankton. It's absolutely beautiful. That one looks horrible. Sorry, there's a big finger mark on one side I've already had. Horrible, no one will like them. Just leave them for me.
This is Lake Wakatipu, and we've driven down the southeastern edge this morning. Lake Wakatipu is New Zealand's longest lake, with a length of 80 kilometres, or 50 miles, and it's the third largest in New Zealand. We're in beautiful Kingston at the moment. Just at the southern end of Lake Wakatipu. Autumn colours here are just awesome at the moment. It's said that if you want to get those beautiful autumn colours in the South Island, you have to be here around Anzac Day. It's Anzac Day tomorrow, so we've timed it absolutely perfectly, and we've got this stunning day There's a little bit of rain around, but and it's a bit cool. But yes, looking beautiful this morning. Kingston is probably best known for the Kingston Flyer, a vintage steam train which ran as a passenger service between Kingston, Gore and Invercargill from the late 1890s through to 1957, occasionally also going to Dunedin. In 1971, New Zealand Railways started running the Flyer as a tourist venture between Lumsden and Kingston until flooding damage to the line significantly shortened the route. In 1982, the Flyer was returned to Kingston and ran on 14 kilometres of line from Kingston to Fairlight until 2012, when it was suspended indefinitely. But we'll come back to that later in the episode. Just trying to capture some of these beautiful autumn colours for you as we travel down to Te Anau. So we've driven out to Lake Manapouri for a look. You can do quite good tours from here. You catch the ferry across the lake, get on a little bus, go over the hills and into Milford Sound on the other side. Catch another ferry that takes you for a cruise around the sound.
You can also, when you're over there, go down into the hydro dam. It's the only hydro dam that actually, I think it's a world first, that goes from the lake to the sea, down through the mountains, and it's actually an underground hydroelectric station. Yeah, the lake's higher than the sea, so it actually goes down, drops down a shaft, turns the turbines, and then out into the Tasman Sea.
Lake Manapouri is looking a little bleak today. We were hoping to get out and go for a walk, but at the moment we're just sitting here in the car watching the rain. Lake Manapouri is only 28 kilometres long, or 17 miles, but it is New Zealand's second deepest lake, with a maximum depth of 444 metres, or 1,457 feet.
Hi all, we're at the start of the Kepler track. Just come across the control gates which leads out of Lake Te Anau into Lake Manapouri, where we've just been. Come across that, then you start on the Kepler track which goes into the deep parts of Fiordland.
Fiordland National Park.
Fiordland National Park. And it's a Kiwi zone, so it means not the fruit, but the bird.
Okay, so we've made it back to Te Anau, which is our base for tonight. Just driving along the lakefront with a beautiful view of Lake Te Anau. There's the seaplane that does sightseeing tours, and there's also a great tour across the lake on a ferry to the glowworm caves. I've heard it's well worth doing, but our timing today means we won't be able to do it this time. Hopefully we'll be back in the future and we'll book in then. Predominantly a farming area, Te Anau is a great place for tourism. and a base for people wishing to walk the Milford and Kepler tracks. Just a small town, population in 2020 around 3,000 people, but a beautiful place and well worth a visit. Not really a bad view from your hotel room here in Te Anau. Can't really complain at all. Oh, good morning everyone. We had a great night in Te Anau last night. It started raining during the night and we had some awesome thunder this morning that just rolled around the hills surrounding the lake. Unfortunately that means a bit of a wet drive this morning, but the wonder of Milford Sound is that it's actually better when it's raining. Good thing that, because the mean annual rainfall in Milford Sound is 6,412 millimetres, or 252 inches. This is Cascade Creek, the last dock campground on the Milford Road. As you can see, it's still raining. So this little one here is a wicker, another of New Zealand's flightless birds. Fairly common down here and they don't seem to mind the tourists all that much. Good morning everyone. We're on our way into Milford Sound today. As you can see from the trip so far, it's been raining a little bit, but it's starting to clear a bit. We've got beautiful Lake Gun here behind us, and hopefully the weather will hold off a little bit for our boat trip this afternoon. But we'll keep driving up the road and pulling off, seeing what else we can see along the way. Since it's been raining this morning, we should have some beautiful waterfalls coming up. And of course we'll have the Homer Tunnel at some stage, which is always a highlight to go through.
As you can see, it's been raining just slightly. This is just running out of part of the bush down on the Hollyford Road. You can see why they call it a rainforest.
In the car. Oops, she's in the car. It's in the car.
The other day at Lake
He's going to see what they've got in their car. It might be better than ours. Back on the road again, getting some great waterfalls. The snow's getting lower. A beautiful drive through the valley here. We'll pass the Key Summit trailhead shortly, which takes you onto the Routeburn track. We shouldn't be far away from the Homer Tunnel.
Still outside the car, so.
Here we go through the Homer Tunnel. The tunnel is 1.2 kilometres long, or about 3/4 of a mile, and it was opened in 1953. The tunnel is straight, and from this end it runs downhill. It was originally single lane and gravel surfaced, and until it was sealed and enlarged, it was the longest gravel surfaced tunnel in the world. Work began on the tunnel in 1935, and progress was slow with difficult working conditions. Workers had to live in tents in the area during harsh winters, and at least 3 men were killed by avalanches. Work was also interrupted by World War II, and prolonged by an avalanche which destroyed the eastern portal in 1945. Avalanche conditions still pose a threat today to the 2 waiting areas at each end of the tunnel. However, warning systems are in place for this. There have been several plans to enlarge the tunnel and make it 2-lane, but for the amount of traffic that passes through each year and the cost that it would incur, these plans have been put on hold indefinitely. So we're out of the tunnel now and just driving through the switchbacks down into the valley. As I mentioned earlier, Milford Sound is even better when it's raining. The waterfalls that pour out of the hills are just spectacular. So we're in Milford Sound now and we're just waiting for our cruise. There are 2 or 3 different cruise operators in the Sound, and we picked Cruise Milford just because they had a late departure with fit with our timetable. Hi guys, so we've made it to Milford Sound And we're just leaving on our boat tour. We've got a 2-hour cruise through Milford Sound out to the sea and turn around and come back again. Really looking forward to it. It should be absolutely fabulous.
Not very crowded on the boat. There's 2 other people, so joys of COVID slowed things right down. So a couple of ladies have just come off the Milford track and they're joining us on the cruise, and the 2 crewmen. That's it.
Rainbow's amazing.
Right, where'd those dolphins go? Show offs, show offs. Look at you right out of the water. Oh, I got to take photos. Send me them. Look at them all.
For a lovely scene, a beautiful
Oh my God, there's
rainbow,
so many of
bunch of
them.
dolphins.
That's fantastic. Oh, how much you got to pay them to do that?
We pay these guys a sardine a day each.
A sardine a day. I think you need to up the salary.
It's got a few of them actually.
Yeah.
They're on a
These
little.
are bottlenose dolphins. They're actually the largest bottlenose dolphins in the world physically.
Yeah.
And that's because of our water temperature. They got the largest body mass, you know, for that extra blubber and such.
Yeah.
And they got the shortest fins just to retain that body temperature.
Ah.
You just leave them there now. That's incredible.
Hi guys. As you see, it's a bit tainted, it's a bit brown.
The ground on guys, just bare rock. Very, very hard rock. All these mountains are granite, nice quartz. You can see the white quartz veins going through the granite rock under them. A lot of minerals here. We've got a lot of gold, copper, coal. Being a World Heritage Park, it's never been mined, and hopefully never will be. 1.2 million hectares, 2.5 million acres, one road going through it.
get a bit closer, you might get a bit wet if you stay outside. It's a nice spray though, feel free to do so. But here's Stirling Falls, it's one of the 2 permanent waterfalls that we have in the fjord. We're going to go and check the glacier, the Pembroke Glacier, which is the source of this waterfall after this. So it's a 20,000-year-old waterfall actually.
Did you go into Sutherland Falls?
We did, yeah.
Very cool, eh?
Water drops a long way, look at that. I've never ever been at the bottom of them. I've been at the top.
Oh, really?
You drop over the machine, make it long.
Yeah.
Well, one afternoon we've had cruising around Milford Sound. The scenery really is stunning. We're all booked into our accommodation now at Milford Lodge. We have a beautiful view of the mountain behind our room with numerous waterfalls. We're off to have some dinner. We'll catch you in the morning. There's a mountain outside our accommodation this morning's turned into a snow-capped mountain of waterfalls. It's just spectacular. Probably a little bit hard to see with all the white, but all those white streaks you can see are all waterfalls. Well, we've got another little wicker come to visit us this morning. He's a bit of a soggy wicker. We had a water taxi booked this morning to take us to the start of the Milford Track, one of New Zealand's great walks. We were going to walk the first 2 hours of the track up to the falls. Unfortunately, with all the rain overnight, it's got very cold in the area and there's been quite a bit of snow. And since we aren't equipped enough for the conditions, we've decided to do that another time. So we'll head out of Milford now, back to Te Anau, and we'll finish the day in Queenstown. It's starting to get snow on the road, so we're heading up to the Homer Tunnel. The snow's getting more dense. Car behind you. Entrance to the Homer Tunnel. Still raining, haven't quite got snow yet. Alright, well we're out of the tunnel now and goodbye Milford Sound. It's always a beautiful place to visit and we'll be back again someday. So as we mentioned earlier in the episode, the Kingston Flyer hasn't been running since 2012. But we were coming along the road and above the top of the trees we saw steam come up. We both very excitedly shouted, "Steam train!" And as we come around the corner, look what we've found. Apparently the volunteers that have been working on the restoration have got it running again. This is the first trip along to Fairlight. Only passengers today are those that have been helping with the restoration, but it's a great sight to see it operating again.
Take it off.
Yeah.
No, you just have to unwind the brake, I think.
Spent the afternoon making our way back to Queenstown. We're booked into our accommodation here and we've walked down to the waterfront. It's always a great place to walk around with lots of things happening, and we'll look for somewhere to have dinner down here. I was hoping to get the whole 4 days down here into one episode, but we've done so much in the last couple of days I'll have to complete the trip in the next vlog. So we're going to end this one here. If you enjoyed our content, click that like button. Please leave us a comment and consider subscribing to our channel. Follow us on some more adventures throughout the year. Take care until next time, friends.